season, our cameras caught people pushing dangerous drugs in plain sight right in front of hundreds of people. It's an issue first responders say they're aware of.
Yeah, but as Rob Krieger learned, they can't always confiscate evidence from people suspected of supplying a high.
On Frenchman Street, tucked between trash cans, to the gates of Jazz Fest. Balloons bartered by the fistful. In plain sight, and right in front of our cameras. Outside Jazz Fest, Friday, May 3rd on Gentilly Boulevard.
What is that?
Nitrous. And steps away from popular restaurants near the fairgrounds, our cameras captured multiple nitrous dealers. People passing nitrous like party favors, often in exchange for cash.
Yeah, what you got?
Nitrous.
Oh yeah? How much is it? 3 for 20. 3 for 20?
Yeah.
All right. Wait, that's not legal, right?
I mean, it depends how you look at it.
So legally under Louisiana state law, it's not legal for you to be selling this.
It's not illegal.
It's illegal for you to sell nitrous to inhale, right?
New Orleans police say this is illegal. But the manager of one live music venue says it's nothing new.
Sadly, people selling nitrous oxide balloons outside music venues has just become a part of this scene that no one asked for.
Brian Greenberg manages Tipitinas. He says nitrous dealers regularly make sales on the neutral ground and across the street during late night shows, especially during festival season.
It is half a dozen people wandering up and down the street, holding fists full of balloons, standing in the intersection, blocking traffic. Like it's just a terrible look. And it's not just here, it's happening at venues and neighborhoods all over the town, especially during Jazz Fest.
Go to the head shop around the corner and buy one, okay?
It's illegal to inhale it, right?
It's not illegal to do shit, bro.
Is illegal? I thought it was legal the way it was done.
Reggie Ford is a New Orleans artist who posts about the city. During Jazz Fest, he captured this video on the steps of Caesars.
It looked like a zombie land. It looked like a drug house, right in the middle of the city.
These people come from all over the world to enjoy our music, but there's someone outside having a little nitrous party, so they think they'd join that instead of buying a ticket to a show or buying a drink inside the bar. No, I mean, they're just giving it to someone who's, a drug dealer on the street, essentially.
It's a scene Ford says encroaches on the city's economy and culture.
They did this in the most video section of the city. This is right in front of a $1 billion casino, and no law enforcement intervened in it.
Right now, the NOPD does not have a method for handling nitrous oxide tanks in certain conditions, something Greenberg experienced firsthand on May 2nd at the corner of Napoleon and Tchoupitoulas when he called police to report a half dozen dealers outside of Tipitinas.
The people selling balloons, they scattered, they went and hid their tanks and ran off around the corner or wherever else. And one person did stash one tank in a garbage can in the neutral ground. We told the police, hey, they put one over there, you should probably go get that tank. And they went over, they took a look, they pulled it out, and they called the fire department.
The New Orleans Fire Department says when they got the call, it was originally listed as a bomb scare. But once on scene, officers told them they would need help to dispose of a canister of nitrous oxide.
That's happened before. The fire department would just let all the gas out and then take it away for evidence.
But the fire department says the control valve had been removed from the canister and determined it was not an explosive threat or chemical hazard that would require NOFD intervention. The captain dismissed the company from the scene. The NOPD says Central Evidence does not have the capability to store pressurized containers, and the New Orleans Fire Department says confiscated cylinders should not be stored without knocking the valve off.
So the option for the police was just to leave it behind.
Greenberg says the police refused to take the tank of nitrous oxide. In a response, the NOPD says its officers offered to move the tank away from the trash can where it was found on the neutral ground. But responding officers reported Greenberg feared dealers would retaliate against him, so the tank was left inside the garbage can at his request. Greenberg says he doesn't recall police giving him an option to move the tank to another trash can. He says he's furious and thinks police could have done something to prevent more sales.
I was angry, yeah, absolutely. It seemed outrageous. All this trouble to stop this thing from happening, and here we are. You can take it off the street, but I was shocked that they would just leave it behind. They said they would stick around and wait to see if someone came and got it, but after 15 minutes, the police officer drove away. I don't know if he got another call or what happened, but There was just a tank sitting in the neutral ground.
Greenberg says police gave him this document explaining how to obtain a copy of the police report, listed with an item number, an officer name, G. Hayes, and recorded as a complaint. When we attempted to obtain the report of the complaint, the city initially responded no report existed because necessary action was taken.
I mean, I don't think that the necessary action was taken because an hour later, people showed back up with another nitrous tank. So it's not like the problem was solved. It was just kind of discarded.
A problem many say is inflating across the city, targeting tourists and hooking residents.
You saw balloons on the ground. At one point, I saw a guy just standing in a driveway with a big old canister like this, just kind of standing there. And he would just stand, and everybody just looked like as though it was normal.
Dr. Eric Griggs explains the prevalence of nitrous oxide gives potential buyers a false sense of safety, as some peddling balloons claim it's harmless.
The point is, it's been normalized to the point that people think it's something that's benign, and we know that it's not.
The New Orleans Fire Department says it's aware of the rise of nitrous oxide abuse in our community, and the NOPD points out it is illegal for anyone to inhale, possess, or transfer nitrous oxide like this. In fact, police made 4 arrests this month during the last weekend of Jazz Fest. The first arrest on Saturday, May 4th, when police saw a man in possession of a black nylon bag that contained a nitrous oxide tank and hundreds of balloons near Gonzaga and Gentilly, just a day after our cameras captured people on that same corner buying balloons dealers say were filled with nitrous oxide.
What is that?
Then 3 more arrests Sunday night near the corner of Grand Route St. John and Sauvage Street, where police say they arrested 3 people and confiscated these 2 tanks of nitrous oxide. Also just blocks away from this scene 2 nights earlier, as people passed balloons of nitrous oxide in the shadows. Griggs says recreational use like this can lead to devastating and long-term impacts.
The blood vessels leave your heart. They get smaller and smaller. You can deoxygenate chronic for over time. This is definitely something that if you do recreationally over a long period of time consistently, you will get the ill effects of it. And we know that. We know that happens.
Despite the risk, it's a dangerous drug found beyond the frat parties on college campuses, on the fairgrounds during Jazz Fest, slung over a shoulder outside of iconic restaurants,
Got the shot you looking for?
and pushed by the fistful on the storied streets of New Orleans, as dealers illegally supplying a high collect cash in plain sight.
I feel like if there was heroin in big inflatable balloons in the middle of the street that people were advertising, they would stop it. If there was crack, they would stop it. If there's a food vendor in the street, they shut that down. But they're not shutting this down.
That was Rob Krieger reporting. The NOPD says right now it's working to find a solution to situations when the valve is removed from a pressurized tank, but again says it does not have a way to confiscate